Hi guys, and welcome back to the On Sunday podcast with me, Chris, and my smoking hot wife. Why you all smoking hot wife? Who has let nature blow dry her hair, which is one of my favourite things in the whole entire world because it means we don't have to pay for the electricity for a blow dryer. Rebecca.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you the last time I've just not dried my hair, but I don't think it's going to serve me very well.
I feel the frizz is going to take over.
Yeah.
Apparently, there is a comparison between redheads, beautiful redhead, and people from black descent, like Afro-Caribbean and stuff.
Right, black people.
Black people?
Yeah, I was about to talk about that when you were going to say, so what have you been up to this week? I was going to say I have been really enjoying Ginger X Black TikTok.
Okay.
It's great.
Stand by. Let's introduce the podcast and we'll get back to that. This week's podcast is about how you guys fuck us off at nail order.
Are you allowed to say the F word?
Oh, it's going to be bleeped out.
All
I
right.
never ever swear.
Okay.
How you guys really grind our gears. No, I really don't want to do this podcast because I don't want to offend anyone.
I just
want to
bit
say
fun.
It's picture yourself as a nail tech. You know what it's like when customers come in, and you know if you talk to other nail techs, you all have the same gripes about the same customers.
No matter
and stuff.
what job you do, right?
Yeah.
Every job comes with its gripes. So actually, when I decided to do this, I asked some of the guys, customer service, social media guys, what irks them. So I thought it'd be a little bit fun. But we want to preface this by saying that we very much appreciate every single customer and every single order that we have. But we were going to tell you why these things annoy us, and maybe it'll make people understand things a little better.
Yeah, and I blame customer service. This has nothing to do with Chris. Do not cancel Chris. Cancel customer service. You know
This might never see the light of day.
This might never see the light of day. Anyway, honey, I wonder what potentially you could have been up to this week.
I love it. I love Ginger X Black TikTok. It's just fantastic.
Right. I only put myself onto TikTok. I don't really take anyone else's videos into consideration. So you need to explain.
You've not seen any, no?
No, honey.
And a lot of you might not have seen it if you're not black and if you're not got red hair, I guess.
Okay.
But I know a lot of the guys who work with us have seen it, like Karina and stuff like that. She's also loving it. Karina has dyed red hair, but I still love it.
Oh, wow.
Well, no, do you know what was really funny? I was saying this to Chris the other day. I saw, I don't know if it's off the back of this whole Gingers Are Black thing. Ed Sheeran was being interviewed about having red hair. And the girl who was interviewing him had red hair, but hers was dyed. And I can't remember exactly what she said or exactly what it was.
Just put it into context as in she was grouping them together.
Yeah, she grouped them together and he was like, no. Like, you cannot be... like you've got dyed red hair, you've not gone through like the years of bullying and things that people who are born with red hair have gone through. And please do not take me as comparing having red hair to being born black. Very, very different things. But that's what...
So what is the comparables?
Well, it all started with this girl, this lady, and I don't know if she was saying like scientifically, I don't know what it was back, but she was being deadly serious, and she's like, all gingers are black. People with red hair are black people, right? So I think she was talking scientifically. I can't be 100% like correct on that. But anyway, from that, what has happened is an outpouring of love between black people and ginger people who have banded together. The gingers are now included in the cookout. We're invited, which is really exciting. But it has been suggested it should be a cook-in because of our light-coloured skin.
Oh, I get it, yeah.
But there's a lot of talk about how, like, there's a lot of scientific talk. I mean, I think ultimately, from what I've looked into, because I was like, oh, this is so exciting. And I was like, oh, I can't wait to find out that I'm actually, like, related to black people. But no, unfortunately, it does look like redheads all descend from Asia and a gene mutation. But anyway, I think it's really talking about...
But for me, right, when I look at you have a lot of black features. You have a bigger nose. You have bigger lips.
This is what a lot of black people have been saying as well. Like, a lot of black people who are on this trend are like, I've been saying this for years. And funnily enough, I saw a TikTok yesterday or the day before. Like, I am properly into it. And it was a girl who put up a Snapchat video or something from... she said Snapchat, but I'm like, how did she still have access to that? Because they just disappear. From 2021. And I think this redheaded white girl was having a sleepover with her friend, and her friend's dad, who's a black guy, came in and was like, you know you're black, right? And she's like, what? She's like, no, you know you're black. But there's loads of people who are saying, I've been saying this for years. Look at the features. Look at this. Look at that.
The reason I'm saying that is you specifically have those features, but I can think of quite a few girls that I've dated in the past who resemble nothing to do with black people, other than the fact that they're alive.
I think I don't know exactly what it is. I think now there's been a lot of I can't believe we're like serious to talk about this. A lot of it's come out a lot about like what red-headed people, especially children, like you go through a lot of like discrimination. And again, not comparing this to the experiences that black people have. That is like, it's not even a drip in the ocean compared to what they've been through or they go through. But there is a lot of discrimination against red-headed people. Like everybody has stories. And I've been reading a lot of things on the comments and TikToks and black people say, I cannot believe that other white people would treat fellow white people like this. There was like Kick a Ginger Day, and a lot of people had in school.
Oh my God, I do actually remember that. And the reason I remember it is because my mum had red hair. My mum, how can I put her on the... She has red hair, but she's no longer alive.
Your mum had red hair?
My mum had red hair. And I don't know why, but like 2 or 3 girlfriends I had during school had red hair. I must be attracted to girls with red hair. I don't know what it is. It's weird.
But red-headed women are over-sexualized. So it's quite, they're fetishized and over-sexualized.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Stop looking at my wife, guys.
That's another part of the whole thing. But yeah, Kick a Ginger Day. There's songs that's now come up on TikTok from like way back when about talking about gingers. Loads of people commenting saying, oh yeah, when I was born or when my brother was born, my sister was born, they were like, oh, send them back, or as long as they don't have red hair.
Millen, my son, that was one of the things. Like my ex-partner, his mum said, oh, thank God they didn't have red hair.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
She probably said it in jest. A lot
of people say these things in jest, but a lot of jest comes from a seed of truth, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, anyway, long story short.
That's what's consumed your life.
Yes.
So when you and I were sitting on a deck this morning for about 2.5 minutes, contemplating what we were going to do with the rest of our day, you said, this house is a mess. We do nothing apart from sit around. Huh? Really, what you're saying is you just sit around on TikTok watching.
I'm just glad to be
your brothers and sisters
have been welcomed with open arms into a new community. I'm happy about that.
I'm excited to be cookout. I love southern food.
They didn't say you could come.
Oh, it's +1.
No. I watched a whole video of this because the black people
I've got a little bit of ginger in me too. Like everyone's like, I've got a bit of ginger in me.
No, but yeah, you do. You actually are probably considered ginger.
Okay.
I would say, just for men. Anyway, yes, there are rules. They've set out rules.
Okay.
For us. Obviously, you can't say the N-word. Absolutely not. That's a given.
Nicaragua.
The G word. We're not accepting the hard R.
Gangster?
Ginger.
Oh,
ginger.
Right.
My ginger. Right? That's acceptable. Okay. For us, that's our slang.
Right, okay.
So, I mean, really, who we allowed to use that is kind of up to us.
Gotcha. So, you wouldn't say that to Karina because it's not true?
It's not true, no. But I could say it to the other Rebecca. My ginger.
But is she actually real red?
Oh, she's definitely real red, yeah.
Okay.
We can spot each other.
Of course you can.
But they also set out rules for the cookout. I watched a whole TikTok, very invested about all the rules for the cookout. And one of the things was, well, first they said, little Shan, if you were watching, my ginger, she's included. One of the things was they'll tell you don't need to bring anything. You do. You need to bring a dish. Right? If you bring a +1, right? Nobody says you could bring a +1. If you bring a +1, you need to bring like a bottle of alcohol and you need to bring your own meat.
Oh, always.
You need to bring your own meat.
Tell the people at home what I really just spend my life doing.
Barbecuing, Chris.
Barbecue. I barbecue and I watch people barbecue.
He does
on
watch
YouTube.
people barbecue. But you got to bring your own meat if you're bringing a
Absolutely.
+1. Don't be...
Absolutely.
Don't be rude.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Wow. So, as it stands, guys, I'm not recording a backup on my Rodecaster and I might accidentally hit stop on this one so I don't have to record the rest of it. So, we might see if this actually gets the light of day.
So, do you know what I thought would be fun to start with? Would be, because
obviously... It would be fun to start with. I feel all out of sorts. I feel like, you know when somebody... You know, what was it, the fairy tale? Cinderella and the Two Bears. No, what was it? The girl...
Goldilocks.
Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Yeah. You know when she jumped into the bed and she was like, this bed's not right?
Mm-hmm. That's not that. It was it not the porridge? Too hot?
You know
too
what
cold,
I'm getting at?
Too salty?
I feel like I'm sitting in my seat, but it doesn't feel right.
That's probably because Saphira's touched it.
That is a good point. If you guys do not know, Saphira and Laura have their own podcast, the Nail Order Bite Size podcast, where they talk no BS about the industry, and that's the only plug that they are getting.
So I thought it would be fun to start with, having worked as a nail tech and a salon owner myself, things that as a nail tech annoy us about clients.
Clients turning up late. There you go.
It's just so that we put the whole thing into context, because no matter what job you have, there are gripes, and they're common gripes over and over again. Any job that you've ever had. You know,
see when clients turn up late? This is just a general thing. When they turn up late and they blame something else. They don't take responsibility for it.
Yeah, they don't
Couldn't
just go,
find a
"Do you know
parking
what, I'm
space."
so sorry, I just didn't leave the house in time.
Couldn't find a parking space. To have a cup of coffee. Couldn't find a
Oh,
parking space.
don't. So yeah, I think that's the number one, turning up late. In fact, we can make that, but we can make it the worst. The worst is turning up late with a cup of coffee and not apologising.
Yeah, blaming someone else.
And just assuming that they can be taken.
Yep.
If somebody turns up late and they're all flustered and they're like, "I'm so sorry if you can't take me, I absolutely understand." You're like, "Oh, whatever." You immediately drop your defences.
Of course.
What else is really, really annoying? Yes. I just woke up and the nail was on my pillow.
Oh, lash. The lash fairy took all my lashes off.
They were just gone.
Yeah.
No, again, customers not taking responsibility for things. The worst. What else? Oh, I just pulled my nails off.
Or do you like the colour after you've done the first nail? And they're like, yeah, you paint all 10 nails. I like the
I
colour.
don't like the colour. Yeah. What other things really annoyed us about clients? So many. It's the same sort of things actually as we would experience at Nail Order once via social media.
Yeah.
The question marks. They send a message, you don't reply instantly, and they send question marks.
Yep.
It's like, excuse me. And it's like 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Really rude.
Yeah.
Really rude. What else?
I feel like it's hard for me because I've not been in a salon for years. I mean, I used to listen to you guys bitch about all the clients all the time. And the funny thing is, right, I'm just going to say something, right? You guys can probably name 3 or 4 of your clients that are just a pain in the ass.
Oh, yeah.
Just a pain in the ass.
It's the same. Again, it's going to be the same no matter what job you're in.
We have those same customers at Nail Order.
We love them.
And there's a thing called the 80-20 rule, just in life. With Nail Order, it's probably more like 99-1, where 99% of your customers are completely fine, but it's 1% of your customers that cause 99% of all your problems. And that's what it is. I can name them all right now if you really want to, but I shan't.
They're right here.
I shan't. Actually, I packed up one of your orders yesterday. You know who you are. Auditor of the website. And
Do you know what, though? Do you know what, though? Thank God for them.
I know.
Thank God for them. And that's the thing. As annoying as, some customers can be in life, no matter what job you're in. If you didn't have them, there's actually things to be like, oh crap, actually, God damn it. You're annoyed because they actually helped you.
Yeah. Do you know, I was talking to CP about, because he went back to our very, very first order accidentally on his phone, apparently. I know, 1001 or whatever it was. And I was like, I bet that was for a nail sizing kit. And he was like, how did you know that? And I said, because that's all we sold to begin with. And he was like, how did Nail Order get started? And I thought, not listen to the podcast, son. But I was saying to him about how we get started, and we used to do the press on nails, put them into these pink envelopes, which I flashed up on the screen a couple of podcasts ago, and we put in Haribo that cost us 5p. And now, Rainbow Drops, we changed Rainbow Drops. I'll tell you why now.
I'm going to change Rainbow Drops again because the price of them
is it 16 pence a packet?
I don't even know. That it is exorbitant right now. It is unbelievable. I'm going to be changing them.
Now, if you think we send out over 1,000 parcels a week, do you know what I mean? That's a lot of money. We're going through tons of them right now. I don't know why. I think it's a lot of small parcels that come out just now as well. It's so, it's ridiculous.
I know.
But the reason I'm saying that is a customer who we thought at the time was really, really annoying. We thought she was annoying. We thought the situation was annoying because their partner had messaged to say, Haribo not vegan, because you include vegan sweets to be inclusive. We were like, oh my God, why did we not think of that? And if it weren't for those types of customers, we wouldn't be the company we are now. Yeah,
I think at the same time we were like, oh, for God's sake, we're giving away something for free and people are complaining. But we were also like 50-50, like, that's actually a really, really good point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, sometimes it's hard to swallow your pride and realise that, oh God, what you were doing was not actually great.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And we have been down that road many times at Nail Order. Mostly Rebecca.
Oh, sure.
Mostly
But changing
Rebecca.
your mind means that you're growing as a person. And I'm here for it.
You here for it?
Here for it.
So Rebecca has, let's call it writing, has some written down. Guys, I can't even read it if I'm honest with you. So I'm going to try my hardest to read some of the things that.
I think we've put 10. So this is the top 10 things.
Top 10
that
things.
are top 10 irks.
At Nail Order. I just want to preface this by saying, like, you guys know my pack of long lies. Like, I love you guys. You guys.
We love all of our customers. And like I said, every single customer and every single order is extremely valuable to us. But I thought it would just be a bit fun because no matter what job you were in,
yeah,
we don't want this to come across as complaining whatsoever. But we just,
and also
every job has these.
We're running out of ideas for the podcast. So if you can think of anything, please. This is pod 32 or something. Oh God, we've really done 6 months of this podcast every single week. So if you do think that this is a good thing, maybe you could take a screenshot of your the podcast, share a disclosure, you could potentially win £50.
£50 voucher, yes, guys. And I will say, I'm very proud of us.
What?
Because we both have ADHD.
Oh, no.
We've both managed to stick to something for this long.
Do you know what I was actually thinking in the drive-in this morning? I've got about 3 podcasts left. Okay, excellent. There's a great few guys. And we don't get paid for it. This is just do you know what it is? We don't get paid for it. Although I do enjoy doing it.
I know why you enjoy doing it.
Why?
So you just get to speak to me for an hour.
That's it, sure.
With my undivided attention. Without my phone.
That's very true.
Without Laura.
There you go. The 2 things that determine my relationship. Excellent.
But like Chris said, we are doing our once a month competition. One of our listeners can win a £50 voucher. You just have to be subscribed to one of our means of listening, whether that is on YouTube or whether that is on Podcast Place.
Yeah.
Following us on Nail on Sunday podcast and
Instagram.
Jesus.
Nail on Sunday.
And
thank goodness for graphics that comes up on the screen.
Tag us on your stories with a screenshot of the podcast.
Yep. And at the end of the month, we will go through it and pick a winner.
Yes.
Karina.
No staff can win.
Oh, is that a terms and conditions? No staff can win?
No.
I mean, she listens every week.
Okay.
Actually, Karina's given us a really good idea for a podcast. So we have something special potentially coming soon.
Do we?
Last night, remember? Voice notes?
Oh, yes.
Okay, and obviously I beat that out so you guys don't know what it's going to be.
Yes. Okay, what's number 1? Number 1 of 10.
Being defensive when we try to problem solve. Explain that for me and explain what you mean by that.
Okay. So, when you use any new products, new system, new brand, there's going to be different things that you need to do. And occasionally things aren't going to work out for you. And the best thing to do is reach out to the brand and ask for help, of course. Or reach out to the community and ask for help. What we come across a lot is, I've been in nail tech for 25 years. I know what I'm doing. Well, that's great, but nail order hasn't been around for 25 years. So again, things are different. You know, it's not one size fits all for gels. So yeah, we come across that quite a lot. And it's frustrating because brands don't put out products that don't work. Now, don't get me wrong. Occasionally there's going to be an issue with a batch or whatever with a product or a brand or whatever. But products go through a lot of testing before they come to market, and brands don't put out products that don't work. So they do work, but you just need to use them in the way that they were designed to be used. So yeah, I would say for me, that was one of my ones that I put in.
I put it into context like when you bake a cake. Now, if you read the packet or read the recipe and you do everything exactly as it is, and it says to put into the oven for 1 hour at 150, and you think, actually, I'm going to put it in at 300 for 30 minutes, that cake is going to burn.
Yep.
It's not going to perform the way it's supposed to. Now, what we find is you might have done acrylic nails for 10 years.
You might have done gel nails for 10 years, 20 years.
And then all of a sudden you switch over to ours. Now, granted, our system works pretty well. It doesn't need much alteration. But there could be things that you might need to alter.
It very much depends what they were using beforehand, though.
Yeah.
That is the thing. So it's really important to understand that not one brand or product, they don't all work the same.
Yeah.
So it is important to take on brand feedback. And do you know what? Sometimes it's just not going to work for you. Sometimes that brand is just not going to be for you because maybe you're not willing to make the change that needs to happen to make that system work completely. And that's okay as well.
I remember when we introduced X-Prep.
Oh yeah,
which took away the need for etching the tip and priming the nail. And a lot of people flipped their lids. They could not get on board with this hocus pocus magic, And we did like a demonstration. I remember on January 2nd, we hauled Jennifer in. We did a live demonstration on it, and we sold bucket loads. But for like the 6-8 weeks after that, we just had these complaints. It doesn't work. Doesn't work. Doesn't work. Doesn't work. Doesn't work. Doesn't work. And eventually, now, I can't remember the last time I picked up a bottle of X Etch.
A couple in the sale, but yeah, no, it's loads of X Prep that goes out.
Yeah. So if you've never seen that video, head over to Nail Order YouTube channel and go back a couple of years.
I think that just goes to prove that things are always evolving and you need to always have an open mind to keep up to date with things, and especially when you're trying new products.
Yeah, so that's a good one.
So just keep an open mind.
This next one is, I would say, the irk of so many people at Nail Order.
Oh, I know which one it is.
Messaging on multiple platforms.
This isn't going to be exclusive to Nail Order. This is going to be every single brand and nail tech as well. You're going to have customers who will WhatsApp you, who will Facebook you, and who will Instagram you. We have it at Nail Order, except that they will WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, and email several people.
Yep, customer service warehouse, info at.
Maybe Laura at, training at.
Yep, we just get rid of Laura's email, great.
Literally everybody. And the problem that you have...
And then the big thing at that is they'll call Hotline Bling, the 800 number, and someone like Karina will be like, oh, hi, Mary, blah, blah, blah. And everyone turns and goes, we're actually dealing with Mary right now. And what it's done is it's taken up 5-6 people's time, because we try and answer customers as quickly as possible and solve issues. But it also means that your problem is probably getting dealt with slower and less efficiently. Yeah.
So yeah, do not, if you have a problem, do not message on multiple platforms. If it is absolutely critical that you get in contact with us straight away, phone us.
Yeah.
Only between Monday and Friday, 10 to 4. But phone us, and that will be the quickest way to get something resolved. But 9 times out of 10, your emails, as long as it's, again, Monday through Friday, they're going to get replied to. They're going to get replied to same day, which is, I think, amazing. Certainly brands that I dealt with back when we had a salon, that was not the case. I mean, I'm probably still waiting for replies to some emails.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, it really clogs things up, and it really slows people down, and it makes things really, really difficult.
It does. And you find that it happens more at busy times.
Yeah.
So, for instance, sale time, we launch a sale on a Thursday night, and on Friday morning, we'll have multiple messages, or the same copy and paste message on multiple platforms.
Yeah.
And it's like Karina's dealing with one, Alex is dealing with the next, and everything else. And you're getting all these replies, and you're probably like, actually, do you know what? I solved it myself.
And that's the thing. Even messaging us to say, oh, don't worry about that, guys, I've solved it, doesn't help, because we're dealing with things in the order in which they come in. So it doesn't help. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, people should try and refrain from doing that for sure.
Over the years, we've tried to make, for instance, the website as self-sufficient as possible. Being able to track your parcel.
Being able to edit your own
Being
orders
able to edit your orders.
Always taking on your guys' feedback as to what is going to make your life easier, but also our lives easier as well.
Yeah.
I think that being able to edit the order one is, oh my God, that's really game changing.
Big Dog introduced that at the start of the year. Yep.
Excuse me?
Honey, it was me.
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 It was an app.
I found the app.
I don't think so.
January 2nd.
I don't think so. You stopped saying January 2nd. You can't just put January 2nd on everything. On January 2nd, apparently we were really busy.
Okay.
I
What's the name of the app?
I can't remember now.
There you go.
Because I
did 2 things on that same day. I was super productive, and I did install that. And I did a delivery thing that made it clear for us to see when things should be sent out by DPD, every Royal Mail, etc. And that's why we launched it, because it was to coincide with it.
Either way, it's fantastic, and it has saved so much on admin. Bit of a nightmare in sale time because it doesn't add the discount on, but that's what it is.
Okay, next one. Being aggressive, as Rebecca was there, over delivery issues, or not willing to help when something goes wrong. So I'm going to start with this one, right? As soon as it leaves the warehouse, it is really out with our hands.
Yeah.
And I understand that delivery companies can be one of the hardest people to negotiate with. For instance, we use DPD for the majority of our orders, and we include a tracking number with every single order so that you can track your package.
And I also want to just stop you right there, right, and say that we'll be saying DPD and there'll be people out there who'll be going, oh, they're the worst.
Yeah.
But then there'll be other people who are like, oh, DPD are definitely the most reliable. And it'd be the same for Royal Mail, DHL, FedEx,
UPS,
every single one. There isn't one delivery company that is foolproof,
Superior,
that is perfect. But through experience, we have found that percentage-wise, DPD is the most reliable. Now, I think a lot of the problem is it depends very much who your delivery driver is.
100%, and the region and how many deliveries you've got, etc.
sure.
You know, for instance, we don't ever get anything sent to the house anymore because, well, we're never there. We're always at work, so we get it sent to work. But there is a chance that delivery will come on a Saturday.
To be honest, see, if I missed the delivery, I probably wouldn't even know. There's probably stuff out there that I've not claimed.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
But, yeah.
So one thing we just want to get across is we, as a company, try our hardest because we don't want to have to deal with the problem. You know, we don't want to have to issue a refund or issue a new parcel or reclaim that in some way.
People can be really, really aggressive about it. It's like we've done everything for our end of the deal. We have packaged your order up. We have sent it out promptly. But then, unfortunately, DPD haven't fulfilled their part of the bargain. Now, yes, ultimately, it is our responsibility to get the goods to you. And it really irks me, actually, this whole like delivery thing, because they're all Teflon. Nothing sticks. It's like we have a legal obligation to ensure that products get to people, whatever. But that is their actual service, and they don't seem to have the same legal obligation.
I know, it's kind of weird, and I
don't understand it.
Their own rules and everything else. But the thing is, by printing a label an hour and a half or clicking ship or whatever it is, we sign up to their terms and conditions.
Yeah.
Now, at the end of the day, I speak to a DPD, or I speak to multiple delivery drivers every single day. And at the end of the day, all they want is to have their van empty. The problem with that is some people look at that in a roundabout way, you know? So, for instance, if some guy has got this parcel that he's tried to attempt to deliver 2 times, he doesn't want to have to go back with it. So he's going to take it to a parcel shop. That parcel shop might not be very close to you, but it'll be the closest one to you.
It might be very close, but then people will still kick off, which cracks me up. We've had a couple recently, and I just think this is, you know me, guys, I'm very honest. I think this is unreasonable. We've had a couple recently where they've not been able to be delivered, and then they've been delivered to a parcel shop, which has been within 2 miles, and the people have just refused to go and get their parcel. So then what happens is, it takes time, it gets sent back to us, but they also weren't willing to wait for the products. It gets sent back to us, which incurs a £10 charge to us.
Yep. Every time it gets sent back to
Every time it gets sent back to us. And then we're expected to then just pay to send it back out to them.
So
and
again,
there is a little
another
risk that it'll go back to this same parcel shop.
Yeah.
But literally, there was a woman recently proper kicking off because it went to a parcel shop. It's like, what are we meant to do? It was within 2 miles. Like, we're literally searching, how close is this to this? It's within 2 miles.
Yeah.
I know it's not ideal and it's not come straight to you, but
here's the thing, right? There's lots of steps that have happened, right? As soon as we print a label, you will get like a shipping confirmation through email and text.
Yep.
Because we include those 2 things. So if you give us the correct email and the correct mobile number, you're going to get a text message.
It says we're expecting your parcel.
Yeah. Even if we're sending it to a different country, we always put that information in, because if it gets to, say, for instance, the border and it needs a customs charge, they need to get in contact with you. We'll talk about customs charges in a minute. We try our hardest so that you get the best experience.
Like, we literally do everything that we can.
If you miss a delivery, do you know about it? For the most part.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've had a text message
or
an email or both.
Now, if we send things out via, I'm trying to think of another way I can do it. Some companies just send stuff out through Royal Mail and they don't give you tracking numbers and stuff like that. So that's why Rebecca's probably lost, like, I don't know.
Whack a stamp on it and off it goes.
Yeah, she's probably lost a box of candy canes or something at Christmas time. I don't know. But we really do try our hardest. So when the delivery part doesn't go right, like if it gets damaged, you can look at that on face value and go, okay, it's been damaged in transport. It definitely didn't leave the warehouse like that. You do get some people like, this has come damaged. I need a new one.
They treat the whole situation as if it left, as in somebody, we packaged it up, stomped on it and sent it out.
Yeah.
So it clearly didn't leave us like that.
I know. And again, it's all the way that you handle it. If it were me, I personally would just be like, oh, hi guys, I'm just going to include a picture. This is the way my parcel came. What are the next steps?
There's a couple of items missing, or something's been cracked or smashed in the process. What's the next steps?
Yeah.
But people, like that one recently where it was within 2 miles, the delivery shop, and they were just unwilling to go, and they were disgusted by our... See, when people use the word disgusted,
yeah,
and it's over like a delivery issue, like something completely out with our control, and we've tried our very best. Like literally I think it was Alex at the time on customer service was like checking like the distance, how far is it? Like how can she go and get this parcel? Blah, 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 blah. It's like, see for it to get sent back to us, you're going to be talking an extra 10 days. But by the time the parcel shop actually decides to send it back and then it comes to us and then we reissue it, just go and get the goddamn parcel.
And another thing, like say for instance, something potentially gets delivered to you and just like, let's say it's a cuticle oil. Okay, it's a cuticle oil. It's the first time you've ordered cuticle oil, or it's maybe, I don't know, the second time you've ordered this in the last couple of years. Please don't lie to us by emailing and saying, I need this for a customer tomorrow.
Oh my God, the amount of times this happens, right? Where somebody's delivery is delayed for whatever reason. And say it's an apron and a colouring book, right? It's always items that are unnecessary. I am disgusted with this level of service. I ordered those because I need them for a client that I have tomorrow. You absolutely, and it's always that. It's not like it's like a primer or a top coat. It's always items that they absolutely, or like cuticle oil. Yeah, it's nice to have cuticle oil at the end of the treatment. Can you grab a cuticle oil from a supermarket if you absolutely had to? Do you even need to finish with a cuticle oil? Not really. Yes, it's a nice part of the treatment. You don't need them. Be reasonable. Stop being silly.
I think this is something that I've seen in life because we've been in sales for a long, long time. Mm. I think a lot of people realise how ridiculous what they're saying is, so they make up a lie, a half-truth, you know? Yes, they might need that cuticle oil to do with the customer tomorrow, but they could probably do without. Mm. But for them to exaggerate it as much as possible, like, well, that customer's never going to get that treatment.
Just don't realise how they don't think, like, to us that seems really crazy. Like, we've literally been in your shoes. Maybe they forget that we've actually like done the job.
Very true.
Like, yeah, that one is crazy. The other issue we have sometimes, occasionally for various reasons, people get sent the wrong things. Now I'm very, very thankful to some people who are very honest when they receive a lamp, and they've only ordered like a dropper bottle or something like that. These honest people.
It's very unusual what you might find that is maybe a label's get stuck on their own parcel.
That can happen.
Or it maybe goes into like what do you call it? Like a mail sorting bag or something like that, and the label gets ripped off.
And it gets reassigned. Sometimes there's an issue with our scanning system. And quite honestly, sometimes our warehouse guys don't do what they're told, which is really, really fun. But anyway.
Too busy talking about the date they had on the Saturday night.
Yeah. So sometimes, and do you know what? Things happen. No system is perfect, especially when humans are involved. Nothing is perfect. We try our very, very best. So sometimes things happen. And do you know what the worst part is actually now talking about this? You'll get customers, and it's happened to them like 3 times.
Yes.
You'll get customers who've ordered 50 to 100 times, never had an issue, right? Yep. And obviously this is very rare, but then you will get the person like, this is the 3rd time. You're like, how? And it's literally pure luck. Like it's just
unluck.
Pure unluck. But yeah, so we get the customers, and we're very, very thankful for them, who get sent way more than what they ordered. And they'll contact us and say, hey guys, I've received all this. I didn't order it, blah, 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 blah. And they're very, very kind, very honest, and we're very thankful to them.
There was one recently that must have been maybe about 6 months ago. I'm thinking probably Black Friday type thing. And they were sent somebody else's order. It was very similar to their order, but it was something else. And they got like 24 cuticle oils or something like that, extra dropper bottles.
And they thought it was a free gift.
They thought it was a freebie. Apparently.
I forgot about that one. That was a good one. I think it was Black Friday. Yeah, the 24 cuticle oils, they were a free gift. That would be a very strange free gift. But anyway. So yes, sometimes things happen. People get sent the wrong things. And what we do is we'll try and get those things, send you guys send a free label, returns label to send the items back to us, and we'll send you the correct things. A lot of people that really don't want to do that. They just don't want to do that at all.
It's one extra step that they should not have to
take.
And
we totally appreciate that is on us, and we're very, very sorry about it. But to be able to keep our prices reasonable, we have to implement reasonable steps. And I also think it is just pretty reasonable. Like if you ordered from Currys,
dishwasher.
No. Pack of filters for your coffee machine. Mm-hmm. And instead you received a Dyson Hoover. They're not going to say, keep the Hoover and we'll send you the filters as well.
Vacuum cleaner, guys.
Yeah, they're not gonna. Do you know what I mean? Like, we need to be
Yeah.
reasonable
Yeah.
here. So yeah, that one really, yeah.
Also, if you switch around, imagine you ordered a dishwasher, but you got a packet of dishwasher tablets instead.
Yeah, you'd be annoyed. You'd want the thing that you ordered. It's
Yeah.
kind of the same.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Also, the aggressive thing. We have a couple of sensitive souls who work for us sometimes. Well, they work for us all the time, but
Yeah.
sometimes can be quite sensitive.
Wait, what was that thing recently where one of the customer service girls was
That's what I was
crying?
talking about. Yeah, because
was
she
the
answered the
problem?
call. It was
something-
it was a nonsense problem,
Total nonsense problem.
and this person just gave her a barrage of abuse, and it's just not fair. At the end of the day, I said to Alex at the time, if that ever happens again, just come get me and put me on the phone.
And then
you
what
know.
we'll do is we'll block your account.
It doesn't matter. I'll solve the problem. I will solve the problem, but I will not take the staff being abused. It's just not fair.
But you will also block your account.
Yeah. I love blocking people's
Chris
account.
really does. See if someone.
I've only done it like a couple of times,
Yes.
but some
He's
people
not done
are
it
just
for a very long time, but if someone is incredibly aggressive and
Yeah.
incredibly rude, what it actually comes down to, right, is that it becomes clear to us that we are not the company for that person.
Yes.
We cannot make them happy.
Yep.
So why continue in this relationship?
Yep.
And that's really what it comes down to. So the best thing to do is to just part ways.
Yeah.
Solve their problem, whatever it is,
The thing
and
is,
then part
see,
ways.
when we try to solve your problem and you're not willing to be like, oh, actually, thanks for solving the problem. Or you don't even need to say thanks for solving the problem. It's just when the problem is fixed, don't keep going on. Don't keep going on like abusive messages afterwards, because at that point in time, it's like blocked.
Yeah.
And that's the way you should be in life. You know, if customers are giving you abusive messages on Instagram, block.
Yeah, you wouldn't deal with that from a customer. If somebody was abusive to you, and then you wouldn't carry on treating them. That's the same thing that we would do if somebody's abusive. We can't make them happy. We can't fulfill their needs. So why continue with the relationship?
Kind of like Rebecca and I's marriage. Anyway, let's try and bring this back up again. Right, one that I think is funny is messaging to be a brand ambassador.
But more specifically,
Or promo is a good one as well.
my favorite thing is, hi, fill in the blank. I absolutely love your brand.
Yep.
Fill in the blank. I've been following you for X amount of time. I would love to be a brand ambassador. Now, several problems. One, it's very clearly copy and pasted to many different brands.
Yep.
Two, often they've got AI to write it. Three, you're asking to be a brand ambassador of our brand. I've gone onto your account, never bought a single item. And four, if you knew a single thing about our brand, you would know that we don't utilize brand.
There you go.
So that is, it's not cool. It's not cool, guys. You know that we're all about transparency here and being genuine. And so it's the same. We are genuine to people, but we also expect people to be genuine to us. So we don't appreciate those type of messages.
Yeah. Another message which is very similar is customers messaging. I'd love to try your brand.
No, not customers messaging. People messaging randomly.
Oh, well,
Yeah, because they're not customers yet.
They're not customers yet, sorry. I mean, people messaging, I'd love to try your brand.
I'd love to try a brand. Is there anything that you can send me?
Yeah.
That's what they're saying. And sometimes
Oh,
people will say, I can't even believe that people have the brass neck. I don't want to waste, they will use that exact term. I don't want to waste money buying stuff that I might not like. So is there anything you can send me for free? Excuse me? Excuse me? So we should waste our money on a hope and a whim that you might like our products. You're not willing to, and we have Try Me kits. I mean, at the moment we have a Try Me Love Me kit, which is £29, £58 worth of products.
so it's half price.
And if you're a first-time customer, you can get, buying that, you can get that £29 back as a discount on your second order. So essentially it is being refunded to you for free. So either way, a really, really cheap investment. You're not, I don't know. To me, it really gets me. It makes me think you don't see any value in what we're doing. You're not willing to waste your money, but we should waste ours on you.
Yeah. And I think it's hard because people do look at us as a very small brand. And I think us in here, we know we're not so small anymore, you know? And
I mean, we're still small compared to the likes of like the gel bottle and glitter bells and stuff like that.
not far behind,
Oh, no,
honey.
we're still a fraction.
But we're not far behind, honey. And I get it. The thing is, when we first started selling cuticles way back 2020, we were sending out free cuticles for people to try.
Chris, we still send out a huge amount of free gels right now.
I know.
But that is when people have approached us in the right way, or if we approach them. You know, if we see somebody on social media asking for recommendations, blah, 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 we're being recommended. We might then send out some free gels and things like that.
But the thing is, see if you did a little bit of research, most people are like, well, nail order's pretty good. You know? Now, granted, that might not be everything to suit everyone. I totally get that. But if it were me, I'd be like, well, do you know
it's
what?
also just a way of approaching things, isn't it?
I'll try something.
It's messaging someone and saying, I don't want to waste my money on your products. Can you give it to me for free? That's really disgusting. That's really hurtful, actually, to the business owner. That's incredibly hurtful. It's saying that all the work that I have done into my business, it's not worth anything to you.
Yeah. Also, that same person, if a special comes on the McDonald's menu, they'll be the first person to go buy it. Do you know what I mean? And just try it, you know?
It's so funny how big companies are treated very differently to little companies. Like, I feel like big companies or companies that are seen as bigger are given a lot more grace.
Yeah. It's because they're tried and tested.
But not even like that. It's like, oh yeah, it's acceptable for them to not to reply to you for 5 days, 7 days, or even never reply to you. Totally acceptable. For us, if we haven't replied to you within 2 hours, unacceptable.
Question mark.
Yeah, it's just a lot of things like that. It's kind of interesting, isn't it? It's just a whole psychological thing.
Yeah, it is. I'd like to quite stay small, but also be big at the same time. Next one that I had to deal with a lot of time because I used to do all of the international. I still do most of the international orders because I feel like if I don't do it, something goes wrong with it. And that is customs and taxes.
Well, there's two separate things on the go there, but yeah.
So customs, when we send something to a different country, now I have added all the apps to try and eradicate any of these issues so that you pay the taxes now so that we send it.
All I'm going to say is if the website is really slow, guys, it's because we have so many apps running on it.
But there is an occasion where, for instance, we send something to maybe a country, maybe out with Europe or something, it gets to the border and they demand taxes and you guys are like, I'm not paying taxes. No chance. And it gets sent back to us and you question it like it's a thing.
There's two things in life that are certain, guys. Death.
And the fact that I love Rebecca.
Death and taxes.
Yes.
Those are the only two things in life that are absolutely certain. So the thing is, when you buy from another country, you're outside the UK and you purchase, you do not pay our local tax, which is 20%. It's highest, amongst other countries, it's pretty high. So you're not paying our 20% taxes. But you are having to pay your own taxes when it comes into your country. It's just generally the way that economics works.
Yeah. Just to put into perspective, now if it's under 150 euros or up to different kind of thresholds in different countries, we collect the taxes and then we pay like the Central European government those taxes. When it gets more than that, they don't want to have to deal with that whole side of things. It's not something I would happily take the taxes and then just pay them back to the Central European government. But say for instance you buy something for 250 euros, we get the conversion, £220. There is no tax paid on that. We send it to your country, say maybe Ireland, France, something like that, and you have to pay your local taxes, normally 20%, 21%, something like that. Now, if you were to buy the same items in your country, those taxes would normally be bundled into the price. Mm-hmm. You don't see it. It's called value added tax. It's added into the price. We have that here in the UK, which we're going to touch on in a second. So at some point, you're going to have to pay the taxes. That's just the way life works. It's just the way it is.
But we do get a lot of messages and comments, I don't want to pay it's like, you've not paid our tax, so you've already saved 20% on our customers. Yeah. And maybe your local tax is only 12%.
Exactly.
So, yeah, still works out better.
It does. Now we'll talk about UK customers.
My God.
In the UK, unlike other places, like for instance, we're in America, you get a price that is displayed and then you get to the cash register
they add money on.
And they add sales tax. Now, sales tax can vary. I mean, I think in California it's like one of the highest, like 9%. So you buy a beer, say $10, they're going to add 90 cents on at the checkout,
Here in the UK, we do things a little bit differently.
We do different.
For the most part.
Pre-bulk it in. So if you go to the supermarket and you buy, again, a can of beer, I don't know why I'm using that as an example, can of beer for £1, that includes 20% taxes. That includes 18 pence taxes. Is that the way I reverse worked that out?
No, somewhere like that is,
okay.
It's confusing. But anyway,
it
includes the taxes. Except when it comes to trade. Now, that doesn't matter what trade you're in. You could be a plumber, an electrician, a joiner, a hairdresser, a beauty therapist. When you shop trade, the tax is separated. And the reason it's separated is because, for the most part, it is expected that business owners or sole traders will register for VAT.
And be able to claim that VAT back. Yep. So, for instance, if I go to Screwfix, for example, a bad example. the wholesale cash and carry, and I buy a pack of soda pops for all the staff because we just fill the fridge, it costs me £8 plus VAT. That 20% VAT, that £1.60, Rebecca and I get to claim that back in our taxes. Well, the company gets to claim it back in our taxes. Yeah. So we technically don't pay it. All we do is we pay it to Booker, they'll pay it to their tax people, and then we get to claim it back.
So a business is like a shepherd for tax.
Yeah.
We collect it, we hold it, and then we give it to the government at the end of the quarter.
And if you're really smart, you can put it in a savings account and make some money off it.
So yeah, we get that a lot, and a lot from British people, British customers. Why are you adding on 20% taxes? I can't be paying that. It's like, you are paying that no matter where you shop. It's just you're shopping professionally. So the vast majority of professional nail brands, they will have the tax separated. When you go to salon services, the tax is separated, capital is separated. It's just the way it works.
Yes. I think a lot of it probably comes from New York nail techs.
The thing is, right, I've known about VAT.
You're taught it in school. Yeah.
Are they not taught it in school anymore? Are they taught anything in school anymore?
Nah, man. Anyway, let's keep the momentum high. High as taxes. High as taxes, yeah. Oh, do you remember when VAT was 15%?
15%. That's what was just in my head. Oh my God, how are you in my brain? That was just in my head. That was the best time, ever.
Everything was free, almost. Talking about free stuff. People complaining about free stuff. Now, this one boggles my actual mind. Actual mind. Now,
I'm just like, literally whenever it happens, I laugh. I'm like, are they serious? They are complaining about something that they got for free.
Or didn't get. Okay. So for instance,
it happens both
the
ways.
rainbow drops that we put into every order, because there's so much going on, like for instance, maybe I'm packing an order. It never happens to me, but say for instance I'm packing an order. Rebecca comes in, she's asking me about something else. Customer service is asking me about something else.
Especially if you're like on a live or something like that, like there's a lot of, you're talking at the same time.
So much going on. You're trying to remember to put flyers in and everything else, and you don't grab the free rainbow drops that we pay for out of our pocket, put in to the parcel, and it gets delivered to you, and then make a complaint. Now, some people do it really, really well. Some people make a funny out of it. Oh, Chris has forgotten to put the rainbow drops in again. That TikTok that was recent from the girl in Falkirk, she made something funny about it. Do you know what I mean? I like that. Yeah, I like that. I think that's cool. You know,
crazy though, isn't it?
Because you understand that it is for free. It is free. But see when people like message or comment or something, I didn't get free rainbow drops.
It also happens with first time orders. First time orders, we put a free gift in, and we have always done this. Now, exactly the same as with the rainbow drops. There's going to be a 1 out of every couple of 100 times that we don't do it, right? But also, it's a gift. It's not a guaranteed thing. You're not paying for it. It's not a contract we've entered into. We're doing it out of the goodness of our heart. So that free gift might be a cuticle oil pen. What we do is we try and tailor it to the order that they've placed. So it might be a cuticle oil pen. It might be a couple of nail files. It might be a primer if they've ordered everything else, but they didn't order the primer. We try and really tailor it.
So it could be something to complement your order, like a primer,
yeah,
or something that you've not ordered that we think you should try.
Correct. But people, we've seen so many comments. I didn't get a free gift for my first order. No, you probably did. You probably just didn't contemplate it at the time. That's
another thing. That's what I said last night. Like, for instance, a cuticle oil, people might be like, oh, cool. And then forget all about it. They've not seen the gift.
But then they've seen somebody else get a free primer or a free gel colour.
Especially when I do my pack-along lives on TikTok. Like, if it is a first order and we put something in for free, instantly the comments after, I didn't get a free gift. Okay, great.
Yeah, that's annoying, isn't it?
Yeah, I would never personally comment that, but the amount of stuff that I've seen commented on stuff recently, a YouTube video in particular, that's
about Chris.
Yeah, it's just the amount of abuse we get is
Chris.
Yeah, anyway, complaining because they bought something before a sale.
This is a common, or after the sale. This is a two-part. We get this a lot now. We are completely transparent and very vocal, talk about it all the time, that Nailor does 2 sales a year. 2.
Yeah.
Black Friday and Easter.
Yep.
Also been very vocal about the fact that our sale will always start at 7 p.m. on the Thursday night preceding that, and it will end on the Monday at midnight. That is how it's always been and how it is going to be for the foreseeable future.
Yes.
Very occasionally, we might do like a Boxing Day sale or like a one-off day, like a something. But
this podcast is potentially going to go out over the bank holiday, end of May bank holiday weekend.
Is it?
Yeah.
Maybe.
So we'll be in the prime of it right now, and right now we're giving away a free cup with some goodies in it.
Yeah.
Now, the thing is, what you might get is customers who place an order just before that threshold or just after that threshold, and they don't get
But also, it's not a surprise. It's not, boom, we're doing it right now. We always pre-advertise it. Always. There's always pre-advertising on socials, on emails, on the community group. Like, we cannot talk about it enough. All of these things. It isn't a surprise, is it? But
so,
complain.
If you miss out, like, I think there's been the odd occasion where we've been like, do you know what? You actually missed out by like 2 minutes. So, sure, no problem. We'll do some sort of thing. Also, I mean, the discount for the sales stuff, does that bang on end at midnight, as in it's predetermined for that?
Mostly.
Sometimes
things run on. So like the 20% off that we do, that will end at midnight.
Because that's programmed.
But then stuff that I've had to manually do,
you will do the next morning.
I'll do the next morning. So there is always actually a little bit of leeway.
Grace period.
But we get that as well. I missed out on the sale, right? See, over a sale weekend, we will send probably 4 emails talking about the sale. We will do our full socials will just be spamtastic, all over stories, all over the grid, on the community group. It will just be sale. Unless you were living under a rock, your phone was turned off, you can't possibly have not known about it.
Yeah, I know. It's wild.
I'm just like, you didn't know. It's funny because I seen Jamie from Lashbase talking about this on a TikTok before as well. Same thing. It's like, you didn't know. Like, we literally told you everywhere.
Yeah. And the thing is, I know the girls hate putting infographics on the grid, but that's all we do.
They look horrible.
Yeah, they look horrible. But that's all we do at sale time. So do you have all the info?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Okay, we need to get going with this. So, in number 9 position, comparing us to other brands. I mean, sometimes that's complimentary.
Sometimes. But there's a couple of things I can think of recently, right? So one of them was somebody had an issue with their order. And she said, well, such and such brand does it like this. Like if there's an issue with the order. Okay, number 1, that brand is 10 times bigger than us. Number 2, it's not true because I used to be a customer.
You're going to need to say that a little bit louder because I might not pick that up. What did you say there?
I said, number 2, I know it's not true because I used to be a customer of theirs. And I'm probably still waiting for a reply from emails from 6 years ago.
Yep, 2019.
So I doubt it. I think that's the thing. People forget that we've
lived it.
We've lived it. Like, we had our own salon for like 12 years.
Yeah.
I've been a nail tech. I've been a customer to these brands.
Yeah.
So that one's really annoying. It's like, no, they didn't. Do not be ridiculous.
Yeah.
Another one, it's like, oh, other brands have reward schemes, points and things like that. Now, this is something that Laura and I talked about in depth.
We've spoken about it for many times. It's come around.
And we're going to be completely honest with you guys because we always are. We love points things ourselves.
We collect points.
However,
there's a price to pay.
There is a price to pay for points.
If you get something for free, somebody's paying for it somewhere.
Yes, no matter what that is. For us to be able to do a rewards thing where you're getting money for points, we would need to increase our prices.
Yeah.
We would have to.
If we give you free shipping on every order, we would have to increase the prices.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that you need to look at everything in a whole and think, right, if somebody can afford to be discounting something by 25% every month or every week, if there's free shipping on every order, if there's points on every order, if there's big free gifts, this, that, and the next thing, there is a likelihood that you're being overcharged elsewhere.
Yeah.
Because that cost has to be recouped. And again, we're completely transparent and we love points. And again, had a whole conversation about it again recently, but it's something we'd love to do, but we cannot do it without increasing our prices.
When we say we give out free gifts to like first time orders and stuff like that, it's literally coming out the profit that the company make.
Oh,
because
obviously.
It's basically advertising money. That's the way we look at it. So for instance, if we give you a free cuticle oil, we hope that you love it and then come back and buy more.
But similarly, it's like if it's a first time order and they buy our gels, but they didn't buy a primer, it's also an investment for us to try and avoid any future problems.
Yeah.
Going, right, you should be buying a primer. Here's a primer. It's going to help you use the system. So it helps us save problems in the future as well.
Quite often, the warehouse staff are actually quite good and they'll write a note. We've seen you didn't have a primer. You probably have a primer. You probably have one, but just in case there's one, it'll be great for retention, something like that, you know?
So I've seen brands who have like these type of schemes, and again, really excellent schemes, fantastic for loyalty, but they're charging a huge amount more for the exact same item that we have, as in I know it's from the same manufacturer, like factually know it. and they're paying the same price as what we are for the item, but they're paying loads more. They're charging loads more. So yeah, there's got to be a compromise somewhere.
Me personally, I'd rather have the lower price. Now, I know that
Yeah.
you and I have many point schemes for like American Express and stuff like that, and you're probably thinking, well, you're obviously paying somewhere. We technically aren't paying for that. It's the retailers that are paying for that. So, for instance, if you use American Express at nail order, the transaction company is going to charge us 1% more.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So it's the retailer that's doing it.
But yeah, so there's always a price to be paid. So make sure you always consider that.
Consider that. In terms of the reason we do 2 sales a year, we have to. We just have to. We have to do a sale at certain times. It's great for you guys because what we see is you say the 20% or slightly better with Rebecca's deals, but then become a loyal customer for the rest of the year.
And that's the reason that we don't do multiple sales, because we can't without putting up our prices. We have options, with our affiliates that we work closely with. We would rather give them a little bit of money and give you a smaller discount and be able to do those type of things than be constantly doing sales.
Yeah, if your company's constantly doing sales, then I'd probably overcharging to begin with.
Woo!
Talking about that.
You should have a shade alarm.
Talking about that, saying I found the exact same product online for half the price.
Or in general, just assuming that because something looks exactly the same that it is, right?
Yeah.
Do you know what's really funny? Out the corner of my eye, there is an item.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And,
holy smokes.
Uh-huh. And I'm not going to name any brand names, but
is that not?
This does us absolutely fine, huh?
The thing is it not? Oh, okay. Okay.
It is, yes. It says it right there.
Yep.
Right. But anyway, let me tell you a story. So when we had the salon first, we had lights, like desk lights and lights for the beauty beds.
Yes.
And
do you know
really
if you maybe do like lashes or something like that, you have these beautiful like...
And you can bend the arms.
Different angles and stuff like that, LEDs, different colours.
Anyway, so we went originally with the main brand for them. And they were really expensive. They were very good, but they were also very expensive. As the salon grew, we needed more of them. It's like, I can't afford to buy 10.
Was it like £200-300 each?
I don't know, around there anyway.
Okay.
And I was like, I can't afford to buy 10 of them. So we found another brand selling what looks exactly the same.
Yep.
But they ain't.
No.
They just ain't.
No.
They ain't exactly the same. And actually, funnily enough, something like that happened recently. It's not that the customer, bought something thinking it was the same as ours or anything like that. She was just using equipment that she already had from a previous brand. And she had been messaging about issues that she'd been having with retention and saying, I'm not using your lamp, so that I know that might be the problem. So she was very open, but I'm using a lamp that looks exactly the same. And as soon as she said it, I knew exactly what it was. So I asked her to send a picture of it turned upside down because I knew that the internals were completely different. And it's actually the manufacturer's old, lesser quality bulbs by the manufacturer's own admission. Compared to our lamp, which has the newer, better ones. And I knew exactly which lamp it was going to be. And sure enough, she sent the picture of it upside down where I can see the internals. And it was.
I get that you guys think it is a lot of hype.
Oh, yeah.
For instance, like lamp is a good one. We have to charge what we charge for the lamp. I think it's a big investment, but it's the right investment. Yeah. And if you look at our lamp compared to other people's lamps in terms of price, it's very well priced.
It's ridiculously priced, considering, from the same manufacturer, people are charging like 50 quid more, 40 quid more, whatever.
At the end of the day.
In fact, one of our lamps, I think a competitor is charging £100.
Really?
The same lamp.
Yeah.
In fact, not the same lamp.
Okay.
What's it called?
Okay. At the end of the day, the lamp for us, we want to just ensure that it cures the gel because that's going to make your life a lot easier, which means you're not going to come back and annoy us and be on this podcast with one of your complaints. That's the whole thing. We want to get you the best quality, the best quality we can possibly get to you, but without sucking you dry in terms of cash wise, Another
item that is really good for comparison is like e-file bits. That is such a typical one that people will go to Amazon and buy them. And the quality is night and day. Where if you're buying them from a professional brand like Lisa Pastorelli, use code NAILORDER for 5% off. You're going to, honestly, night and day. I myself have been that person when I had the salon. I have been that person. And then I have noticed the difference massively.
I think when we had our salon was relatively big in terms of size, but also the volume of customers and staff. So if you're talking 10, 12 members of staff who are all using e-files, you think to yourself, realistically, I want to pay, say, £30-40 for an e-file. I don't want to spend £200 for an e-file times, 10, 12 people.
And I will fully admit, we had really terrible quality actual e-files. I was the only person that had a good one because mine was gifted to me.
Yeah.
Other than that, all the other ones I bought were terrible ones.
I remember when Lucy came for a visit and you...
I was so excited about my UP2000 one.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. And the funniest thing is...
It's still a very good, for its age, an incredible quality piece of equipment, yes.
Yeah. I remember when Rebecca came home from this whole training session and everything else that Lucy was up for the weekend, and she was like, I can't believe how... it is night and day. And she actually gave this e-file to me because I'd used Rebecca's old one. She was like, just hold that for a second. And I was like, oh, that's weird. It doesn't vibrate your whole entire hand off.
Yeah.
And she's like, yes, that's what a brushless motor will do and stuff like that. So I get it. It is hard on face value.
Mm-hmm. E-files, especially, I've seen so many people saying they're exactly the same. Look at this one; it's exactly the same as Lucy Pastorelli one. I'm looking at it, going, well, no, I can see that's a big chunky handpiece that's not got a brushless motor in it. That's going to be plasticky, feel quite light. But whatever. I think also the thing that people have to understand is profit.
Yeah,
and it's the same exactly with your nails. It's not what you take home isn't as in what you get from the customer. Say £35, £40 for your set of nails. That's not your money.
Yeah.
There's profit involved in that. And the profit is actually probably only like £10.
Yeah.
It's the same for a company. So what we get for something minus the product cost is not the profit. The number of costs involved in that is unbelievable. Yeah. Every single member of staff, all of the marketing, just to run the website, the card transactions, the taxes, the packaging, the free rainbow drops, a million other things, the rent for this building, the electricity, the water, our insurance, so many other things. Actually, when it comes down to it, think about profit, guys.
Yeah.
It's the way that business works. There's a lot of costs involved, and it's the same for you.
I would love it if we could have some profit. It would really be nice. Just so we can actually live the exorbitant life that we should and we deserve.
All right.
Yeah. That's it. That's my complaint.
Perfect.
I'm not rich. Well. I think, there's a good chance that might make it to the actual podcast.
Was that the last one?
That was the last one, yeah. Thank goodness for that. I'm actually, it's so hot in here, but I think also my body temperature, I'm worried about Rebecca saying the wrong thing. Hopefully you guys take this as a bit of kind of light-hearted fun, because, sometimes it's just good for us to poke fun at
I think
situations.
it's nice, yeah, and that for us, we always try and make fun out of things because it's better than just being like stressed and angry, isn't it?
Yeah.
I
know a lot of the staff recently have, like, maybe say for instance after the Easter sale, customer service is just naturally going to be increased because we're not sending out 1,000 parcels a week. We're sending out 1,000 parcels every couple of hours. Things change a lot, so you're going to have more problems. You're going to have more customer service issues, and everyone's trying to do it. And again, there was something. One of the girls said to me, is this for real? And it was a customer wanted to send their lamp back because the box was bashed. Not the lamp, not the package, not the stuff.
That happens quite frequently, actually.
It's just the box is bashed.
That happens quite a lot, but people are like, oh, the box is bashed. It's like,
You're probably going to have the box in the bin.
Yeah, that's a common thing. It's just like, it's really silly. See, if you didn't want the lamp, that's fine, but don't blame it on the fact the box is bashed. It makes it sound silly.
There we are. So, honey, what we're going to do for the rest of the day, the weather is beautiful this weekend, so I don't want to do any more work.
And the weather's going to be crappy next weekend, I believe. So next weekend is going to be a weekend for doing road in the house.
Okay.
So I really want to see
on the beach. Today is the day. We're going to see a mansion tomorrow. I know I just said that we don't have any profit. We're going to see a mansion tomorrow. It is huge. And it is completely out of our budget. And I just stupidly said, yeah, I'll go see it.
I think we're just going to see it just to prove to ourselves that we don't need a house that size.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely not going to be the house.
It's definitely not. I cannot afford that in any way, shape or form. But that way you just need to go see it to say, actually, no, let's be more realistic.
Yeah, definitely. I think we're quite good at being realistic these days.
Yeah, I'm a little bit too good at being realistic. That's probably the problem. That's why we can't find a house. I don't even know why we're looking for a house anymore. I'm just sick of that. I'm sick of that estate.
Yeah.
People just drive in the no entrance, and it just drives me up the wall. Christina, you're listening to her, but no, you wouldn't. The problem,
Kelly Marcolini drives down there just the right way.
Did you see her yesterday in that little beep beep?
I didn't realise it was electric.
Yeah, Kelly, I want a shot of that car. Kelly has this little electric smart car, one of our customers, and she doesn't cause problems for the most part. And she has this little 2-seat smart car and it's electric and it whizzes by the house like a little go-kart. And because we're into electric vehicles and stuff like that, I just want to have a go of it. So Kelly, could you please come to...
So small.
Yeah. I think it'd be great for Dak and I. Could you imagine having the passenger seat?
We still love Bailey, guys.
Oh, yeah.
That one.
And I said last week that Bailey's dying. It's just... The poor kid, I just think he's just getting like a grumpy little old man.
But he's not old, this is the thing.
I know.
He's going to be 8 in August and he is a Bichon, so they frequently live to like 17, even older.
Yeah.
So he's like middle-aged. But he is very, very grumpy and a little aggressive, unfortunately. Not good.
I'll no wonder if he constantly just picks stuff out of his eyes. Anyway. So that's what we're doing for the rest of the day. We're going to do fun gardening stuff. And
We're going to the beach?
Beach. Shall we go get away? I don't know. I can't really walk. The beach is so bloody far away, and because it's a nice day, everyone goes there.
Okay, well, why don't we go to the little crappy one underneath the Erskine Bridge?
Oh, so you can see the new bridge?
See the new bridge?
No, because it's a different way. Okay, I mean, we could do that. You're quite hungry? Oh, okay. What's for lunch then?
I don't think
we have anything. Ah, excellent. So we're going to have to go to the supermarket. God, we're so rock and bloody roll. And at some point this week, I'm going to have to edit somebody else's podcast. And if you do want to go listen to it, check it out.
Did they do more than one episode? Or
Yes, they were up here for like 4 hours.
did they do 2 or 3?
2 episodes, apparently.
Great, they were up here for 4 hours.
Yeah. 2 episodes that were
They're meant to
15
be
minutes
15
each. Yeah, and they were like, you're going to have to edit the heck out of this. And I'm like, oh, why did I sign up to this? So, on that, I was going to say bombshell. On that note, honey, do you want to get us out of here?
As always, guys, be sure to subscribe to be notified when we release our next episode. Leave us a comment below. Make sure you enter the competition and tag us on your stories.
Nail text, talking game, keeping it real, y'all gon' feel. From the signs to the drama, every secret they reveal. Stay sharp, stay tuned, man, you know it's the deal.